Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Transforming Trauma to Triumph. I'm your host, Diana Min, and today I'm joined by our amazing guest, Jaya Jaya Myra, who is a best-selling author and a health and wellness expert. And I'm so excited for her to be joining us today. And Myra, for all of those in our audience that aren't familiar with your work and who you are, please let us know what you're up to and what you're creating in the world right now.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me here today. I really appreciate it. So my work is really focused around looking at the intersections between mind, body, and spirit well-being and how all three of these are really connected, especially to physical health. So looking strongly at the spiritual health, the mental health and emotional health component, and how all of this plays a pretty major impact into your physical well-being.
Yeah. I think that's so important. I think, a lot of, we'll say like modern medicine is really focused on just the physical body.
Yes.
When, I'm kind of people that are into more of the Eastern modalities of healing understand that we're a whole being that represents not only just our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body. And so I think that's really coming to the forefront. So you're really, like leading people onto this journey of like wholeness and overall well-being. But yeah, let us know how you got here, because most people that I know that are doing the kind of work you're doing, and I know that you've had to probably walk this path and journey for yourself before being able to share it with others. So if you can let us know, like, how is your journey in getting here?
Absolutely. So, as you said, most people who do this sort of work are really inspired by things that have happened in their own life. For me, it was becoming completely debilitated with fibromyalgia. And by completely debilitated, I mean losing my job, losing my home to foreclosure, having to declare bankruptcy, having my husband divorce me, and being separated from my two very young children because I wasn't capable of doing anything. So the icing on the cake to that was that I was working as a research scientist at the time, trying to find cures for diseases. And when I found out that modern medicine was not able to help me with this problem, back in the day when I was diagnosed in particular, there were no good solutions at all for fibromyalgia. And anything that they had prescribed that I tried actually made me worse. I was forced to walk away from that Western paradigm completely and embrace more of the Eastern spirituality that I was studying at the time. So through trial and error, I was able to figure out what worked, what didn't, and why. And now I'm taking that out to the rest of the world to really show how profound these connections are between living your purpose and exactly how spirituality impacts your health and well-being, and why focusing on mental health and purpose and emotional health is really your foundation for physical health. I mean, it's not even like supplementary or adjacent. This is truly the foundation for everything that frames your physical health and well-being.
Absolutely. Wow, what an incredible journey. Um, I can totally relate to having just, I used to have just like chronic pain in my body. And it's crazy because most of my family does suffer from that. And then I healed it after doing like my first Vipassana,
Okay.
like my first 10-day silent meditation, I haven't had any pain at all. And so it's hard to try to explain, like, how does that happen? How is something like sitting in meditation for 10 days in silence, like healing your physical body? Is that something?
Well, meditation is actually pretty profound for healing. I mean, I attribute that to at least 85% of my healing journey, really working with the meditation and the mindfulness aspect.
Mhm.
So meditation is so profound for this because it helps to balance the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. And for people who tend to have chronic pain in general, the parasympathetic nervous system has become imbalanced. So the deeper that you're able to go in meditation, you're enabling the body's self-healing mechanisms to kick back in, balance those two aspects of the nervous system to where they can actually restore your body on its own.
It's incredible. It's amazing.
It
And
really is.
if we knew this, then like, like my mother's been in chronic pain for her whole life now. It's transmuted into like other physical ailments, and she's been on drugs probably, or medication, pharmaceuticals, my
You're
entire
preaching to the
life.
choir, man. My mom died of a methadone overdose that she was taking to deal with chronic pain and problems with back pain, and she passed when I was only 19. So I completely understand. Like, we need much better solutions for this in the world, and people need to know that there is a lot of validity in the alternative approaches, and that there is even scientific backing behind a lot of this. So I use my scientific background in the work that I do to explain to people these interconnections between what spiritual practices might teach us, or Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine, and also look at what the literature now says about these different things, and how purpose and meditation and mindfulness really does play a concrete role in physical health, and why we should be looking at this as our foundation and not as something that's just supplementary to health and well-being.
Absolutely. And especially right now, with this COVID pandemic happening right now, I think people are really realizing how their health and physical well-being may be out of balance, and how it's the most, health is wealth. And
Yes,
and
absolutely.
with all of this going on right now, I actually I got COVID a couple weeks ago, and and I could tell it was because I was out of balance in my own practices at that time. I had fallen out of my meditation routine, and I had left myself open and vulnerable to getting sick, and realizing like how much my spiritual practices are part of my health and well-being.
Yeah.
And I know you have a well method that you are teaching right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. I use the WELL method as a framework to show people the four cornerstones for creating a healthy mindset. So it's pretty simple. We use the word WELL as an acronym. So each of the letters stands for a different one of those fundamental pillars, like for forming your foundation. So the W stands for work-life harmony. And I use harmony instead of balance because I hate the word balance, and we can never truly be in balance in our life. We're never going to give equal portions of our time or energy to the different things, because that's just not realistic. And I have found in particular with success-driven entrepreneurs, go-getters, type A personalities, like people like me and you who are out making a difference in the world, balance is literally an impossibility. So it's more about creating harmony and creating synergy. So what can we do to create harmony, which means what one simple thing or what numerous simple things can we do to create synergy to where 1 + 1 will add up to 5 or 10 instead of 1 + 1 adding up to 2. So it's about taking those steps in day-to-day life, like really balancing our work environment, knowing what's a priority for us, what makes us happy, what do we need to feel fulfilled. Like, some people are really loving this whole remote work dynamic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other people really aren't. Some people need time off to attend to things with their children or to help them with things. Maybe another person needs time to care for an elderly family member. We've all got different priorities. So it's a matter of acknowledging what those are for you and really being your own best advocate in your work environment to get the things that you need to succeed. So work-life harmony is really being mindful about what is important to you. How do you bring that to you in your life? If you're not able to get that in your career, what can you do to look for another job to where you can start to really make your boundaries a priority, and then you're going to be much happier. And also doing those things that are creating harmony in life and creating synergy so that you can be more successful with the limited time we have in each day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, that's something that I teach entrepreneurs as well, is that happiness is part of being productive. And I think, like you said, with type A personalities, we're like, no, no, go, 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 action, action, pushing, trying, forcing is the way to get results. And I think, we've really come to understand that, like you said, the harmony, right? Like things that you don't feel are actually productive to your business, but being in joy, being relaxed, having fun, and experiencing pleasure in whatever capacity in your life is actually conducive to you being a more productive person in your
Yeah.
business or whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely. So that is one of the four cornerstones of the WELL method, that it's so fundamentally important, is understanding, prioritizing what's important to you, and also this aspect of creating harmony between whatever it is you're doing as a career and you as an individual, because we tend to define ourselves, at least in the West, on our career. And that's not how any individual should ever define themselves. When someone says, hey, tell me about your life, tell me who you are, the career should not be the first thing that pops out of your mouth.
Right.
Right? How can you redefine that to who are you as a person? What makes you unique and special? What God-given talents do you have to make the world a better place?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I noticed a lot too, you know, with when COVID happened or when the quarantine happened and a lot of people lost their jobs. Like you said, like people lost their identities with that
We
because
did.
they were, you know, who they were was so wrapped up in what they do. And once what they do was taken away from them, they had to face like, well, who am I without this? Who am I without my routine, without my job, without this title? Like, and I think, you know, if anything, this has been a great awakening for people to really dive deep into that truth of like, who am I outside of the things I do? Where does my value come from, other than what other people need from me, right? And it's such a beautiful time to just really be doing this work. So the work that you're doing is so important. I want to hear more about, you know, like if somebody in our audience today is dealing with some sort of, let's say, chronic illness or pain or just struggling through this current time right now, what is something that you can offer them, that they can start doing right now today that will maybe, you know, just start their journey of healing or.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would come down to the second cornerstone of the wall method, which is the E, expect excellence. Expect excellence in yourself and enable it in other people. So one of the ways that we can expect excellence is by creating the synergy. So think about what can I do that's going to make my day better through one simple action? And I really like to focus on food because we all need to eat food each and every day or we're not going to survive. I get very hangry if I don't eat my regular meal. So I suspect if anyone went a full day without food, they would probably not be happy. But
Mhm.
I love focusing on food because it is a powerful component of mental and emotional health. And the things that we eat, they affect the gut-brain connection, what's going on with our microbiome, which can affect whether you're depressed or happy or stressed out or not. There's different foods. Foods are actually the primary conduit for producing serotonin in the body. Serotonin is like one of those happy feel-good hormones. We get tryptophan. Tryptophan helps to metabolize into serotonin. These things metabolize into like norepinephrine and other compounds, which really make us happy. Dopamine is another one. So we can get these through what we eat. So are you choosing to incorporate foods each and every day which are going to help to boost your mental health and well-being, either through balancing the gut microbiome or through creating more dopamine or more serotonin, which is going to elevate your mood and cause you to be more responsive and less reactive to life? So that's a great example to me of how we can create synergy. Like I have time to eat one breakfast. So what am I going to put on my plate that is actually going to help benefit 10 other aspects of my day? What do I need to improve brain power, cognitive function? What is going to give me the energy to be sustainable? What is going to make me happy? What is going to help me to calm down and be relaxed so I'm not stressed out or jumping down people's throats? So this is a way I think that people can very powerfully affect each and every day very quickly. You're going to see results like as soon as you start doing this.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think most people have like made that connection that what I'm eating is affecting how I feel because like you said, that mind gut connection, I don't think, you know, a lot of people are very aware of that. But, you
People
know,
are
I
not.
think that, you know, they're just eating whatever and then just thinking and just kind of living by default with, but you know, what you're talking about is being very intentional about what you're putting in your body and making sure that it's, you know, giving you the
Yep.
nutrients that you need to operate at your highest.
Yep.
Wow.
Food, music, whatever we're consuming as media, these are all different things that we're digesting in different ways. So we need to make sure that the experiences, the foods, everything that we digest mentally or physically is actually helping us to create the life of our choosing so that you can live your purpose. And all of this stuff, being happy, living your purpose, these very maybe not simple things to achieve, but simple concepts. Science has now definitively shown that these have an impact on your immune system, that they decrease cortisol, which is the stress hormone, which causes you to hold on weight and like make you look like you have a big stomach. It
Mm-hmm.
actually keeps you healthier. It balances hormones in general. It helps you to be able to lose weight, to be lower stressed, to actually be happier. If you're stressed out or sad, that's going to kill your microbiome. And if your microbiome is shot, then the gut-brain connection is not working properly, and you will be more prone to depression and sadness and anxiety. So everything is this really hugely interconnected wheel. Science now fully acknowledges these things, and there's so many small, simple things we can do each and every day that's going to make just this profound impact on happiness and on health and well-being.
That's amazing, incredible. I'm so glad that, you're out here providing resources for people to just really educate themselves. I think the more people know this stuff, the more they're going to take action into creating a more life that's in harmony. I'm curious, what are the other two letters in the wellness? So we got W, we got E. What are the two LLs? Yeah, I want
So the L and the L are to live your purpose and to come from a place of love and being responsive and not fear or being reactive. And so again, the living your purpose is because this is it's actually pretty revolutionary to think about, and a lot of other people are not talking about this right now. I talk about this in my upcoming book, The Soul of Purpose. It is like literally your purpose that creates everything about you. So you were given like this reason for being alive, and that creates your entire constitution. So in Ayurveda, they would call that your dosha type, or maybe distill that down to your elemental composition in traditional Chinese medicine. So everything about your purpose is what shapes your physical body. So I can even look at a person, look at your body structure and composition, know what your elemental type is, and tell you a lot about your personality just by like looking at your physique. So this is how perfectly God has created us. So when we're living our purpose, we're living in alignment with our elemental composition. We're living in alignment with our temperament. We're helping to make ourselves more happy. And this in and of itself is going to keep you healthy. It's just like everything really is connected. Like the higher vibrational frequency that you're functioning on, the better everything is going to function. Like I went from being super sick, being debilitated with fibromyalgia. I have not even gotten sick or a cold or a sniffle in years now, like thanks to having these practices, like with mindfulness, with meditation, with using food as a way to boost mood and to kill viruses. You can even choose to eat antiviral foods if that's something that you're concerned about. So there's always ways to be intentional. And that's really my whole message is let's do very simple, practical things that take just a little bit of time that are going to make huge, profound differences.
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually, like you said, it is very revolutionary to think that when you are living in your purpose, you are making yourself more healthy. Because I think, obviously when you're living in your purpose, you're feeling more joy, you're feeling more expansive, you're more grateful. It's just like, again, raising your vibration to really bring everything in harmony. That's actually I've never heard that before. So
It's hugely profound. And now the science even shows that living a purpose-driven life does boost your immune system and regulate hormones and do all these good things. I mean, that was the topic of the TEDx talk I gave is purpose the key to health and wellness, and really why we should all be looking at these individualized, custom-tailored solutions for health and well-being, because we're all unique individuals. There's no one-size-fits-all that's going to work for everyone because we're all unique. We all have a different starting point and a different ending point. And as such, we need different things as a part of our lives to stay healthy and happy and to flourish and thrive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think about a lot of people that, may have been living out of alignment, maybe like in jobs that they didn't like or doing something that just wasn't in their purpose, right? Not the reason why they're here. They're just doing it out of fear for safety or security or whatever. And really having opportunities for things to kind of break down, right? Whether it's through this pandemic or losing a job, where now they do have an opportunity, like what do I actually want to do? And I think it's giving people a beautiful opportunity to see, like, how can I get more in alignment with my purpose now that I have this blank space to start at, and yeah, it's just something that I've been seeing a lot recently with clients that I've been having or people that I've been consulting with. It's just like, really seeing I guess our tragedies, right, or unfortunate things that happen to us as blessings in disguise to get us back into alignment, to show us where we've been living out of alignment. I know you don't like the word alignment. Sorry, harmony.
No, alignment is fine. I just don't like the word balance.
Balance is what it was. Yeah.
I mean, even from a spiritual science perspective, if like your gunas elements were in balance, the universe would cease to exist. It only functions because things are in different proportions. Like
Right.
that is like literally marks the end of the universe, like according to the Vedas, is when everything is in balance. So I
Mhm.
don't think it's like a good word to use, but yeah, honestly, if people didn't have struggles and hardships, you would never really know what your purpose was anyway. You wouldn't be able to attribute meaning without ever having to have endured difficulty in life. You have to have like both the light and the dark and the good and the bad. It's like this yin and yang that's in constant balance. And if you don't have both, you would not have the ability to have gratitude, to cultivate meaning, to appreciate anything. So it's wonderful to talk about living a purpose-driven life, but we also need to honor people who aren't at that point yet, because that is such an important part of their journey, and that's what's going to be the catalyst for helping them to derive the meaning that they need to live their purpose.
Yes, yes. Oh, so beautiful. Um, how can people work with you? Because I'm like, I mean, just through this conversation, I'm like intrigued. I'm like, all right, I want to know, I want to know more about like what you have coming up,
Mm-hmm.
what your, um, if you have programs or things, because
Yeah.
people need this work, people need this education, and people need to know more about how to bring themselves back into their health and their wholeness and their truth. And yeah, let us know.
Absolutely. I think a primary resource are my books. So, my first book, Vibrational Healing, is a great resource for understanding your own unique elemental type and constitution, and also how to find healing modalities that are going to work for you based on your unique constitution. My second book, The Soul of Purpose, is now available for pre sale, coming out January 2021. This book is going to be mind blowing, looking at all the connections between spirituality and purpose and health and well being, and really how my journey towards getting healthy again, it was a journey towards living my purpose, because I didn't know what to do to get physically better. I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have someone that was helping me with this. And I found out that it was literally just by aligning with my purpose and doing those things that helped me to do that. Those were the exact things that were helping me to get healthy. Like mindfulness and meditation, you can think that's about mental health. Well, I'll tell you what, as we discussed at the very beginning, has a profound impact on physical well-being as well. And then just every step of the way, how you can do this incrementally to make a huge difference in your life and build synergy and just create all this momentum towards living your purpose and staying healthy. So the books are a great resource. You can also reach out to me directly. I do have coaching packages, and I'm going to be launching a large online program for when my book comes out in 2021.
We're gonna have a link to Myra's website and all her information underneath this interview, as well as the email that you received this interview in. I just do also want to say, um, we get our challenges as gifts to help lead us right onto
Yes.
our purpose
Oh,
or on
yeah.
what we're supposed. You got your fibromyalgia and you weren't thinking, okay, I'm going to help heal the world and educate everybody on bringing harmony into their bodies and their well-beings, but you were just trying to heal yourself. And through that journey of trying to find that for yourself, you ended up with this amazing gift to share with the rest of us, and that's just so incredible, I think.
Yeah, it took me off my career as a research scientist, because I realized that the fundamental solutions to health and well-being were never going to come from a system that discounts spirituality. So it caused me to make huge fundamental shifts in my life and what I was doing as a career. So absolutely, there is nothing that comes to you that is ever meant to hold you back. The secret is in finding out why it is there and how it's going to help to shape your character and make you a more informed person. And you don't always see that until it's in hindsight. So I would say just have faith that whatever you're going through is going to be instrumental into turning you into a better version of yourself, and just keep that in mind, and it's going to make everything better.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. I can just feel how like deep this work it means to you, and I am actually very interested in learning more about the work that you're doing, and I'm excited about your book that's coming out in January and everything that you'll be just offering up to the world. That we're at a time where it's so needed right now. People really need
Oh,
to.
absolutely. I think everyone is beginning to realize we can't be defined by the old constructs, whether that's a job. I mean, whenever anything fundamentally changes, like with people working from home, I live in New York City. I know unemployment rate is up to 20% thanks to so many things being shut down. People are really being forced like to look within right now and to find a little bit of a deeper meaning. So many people have been undergoing this because like the universe is thrusting it on them right now. And really, what better time? Because the more that people start to align with themselves, I think the more everything is going to change and we're going to be able to make the world a better place.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I think that's the purpose of it all, It's really about seeing things again when people experience negative situations and sometimes we can crumble underneath them, right? How can we rise up and say, okay, I believe and trust that everything is happening for a greater purpose and continue to look forward and being that light in the darkness and that's exactly what we're doing here. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. Well, Jaya Jaya Myra, I am so glad that we got to connect through this interview, and I'm just grateful for all of the knowledge and the wisdom and work that you're sharing with the world. And I'm excited to continue to follow your journey and learn more about what you're doing. And for those of you who are interested, all of her information will be connected to this interview as well as in the email. And I just look forward to seeing all of the impact that you're going to create in the world with your work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to invite me to be here.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning into another episode of Transforming Trauma to Triumph. I am your host, Diana Min, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.